So, if you've seen my short, you'll know that I broke this promise. I've loosely promised myself for 2023, no new guitars, which means I have no willpower, I'm weak, I'm just a terrible person. Anyway, here it is, the PRS Silver Sky SE in Dragon Fruit. Ooh, it looks pretty cool, I think. So is it any good? Does it live up to the hype? What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Will I keep it? Let's find out. I know I'm like a year late to the party with this, but I've been wanting to check one out since last year, very curious. But I've been very reluctant to try one out in store, only to find out that I had to have one. Like I needed it, like it was the best. Like all my guitars these days, I picked this one up used locally. All the retailers were blowing these out last year, December into January this year for like £599, £600. But it was only the green and cream finished ones which didn't really do it for me. I was only interested in this nice dragon fruit finish, although rosewood fretboards are not my favourite. Now let's enjoy some tones. I'm using an HX Stomp XL and I can't remember any of the settings. There's some clean, some dirty on each pickup combination. Apologies in advance. The specs. It's a solid body poplar guitar, 22 frets, 25.5" scale, maple neck with rosewood fretboard, double action truss rod, and that neck shape carve is the 635 GM. 2-point steel tremolo, vintage style tuners, synthetic bone nut. Pickups are 3 635 GM single coils, and they're all the exact same pickup. I believe the middle one is RWRP. 1 volume, 2 tone controls, 5-way switch. So here's what I like about it. The colour. It would look way better with a maple fretboard. I would prefer the feel better too. The weight, it's nice and light for gigging, maybe a bit too light. The satin finish on the back of the neck, which is sprayed urethane. It feels really slick and slinky, it's not sticky or glossy at all. Almost like an unfinished feel. Very smooth, glassy almost, glassy. Glassy, not glossy. The headstock shape and design, I like the 3-a-side. I do prefer the Fender traditional style, but this makes more sense. You don't need any string trees because of the break angle is perfect. I like the shape and size of the machine heads, like the gear ratio. And this strap button shape makes it really easy to get your strap up over the strap button. The back plate, 4 screws, why would you need any more? Here's what I don't like. The colour. I know I just said I like the colour, but it needs a maple fretboard. The weight. It's light, it's nice and light, but it's almost too light. It feels a bit inexpensive. I don't like the blank controls aesthetically, and I'm not even sure why. I don't like the plasticky material of the machine heads, or the colour. The machine heads and the truss rod cover are the only parts of this guitar which is this light grey colour, which doesn't match anything else on the guitar anywhere. It just seems a bit random and mismatched to me. The back plate, again, I like the 4 screws, but it's only 1 ply and doesn't match the pickguard 3 ply or 3 ply back plate like what you would get on a Fender. Just another mismatch. The pickups are not really doing it for me. They just seem a little bit lacking in character. They're more modern than vintage voiced. Just a little bit too HD, if that makes sense. The neck carve. So this is a totally subjective thing. Apparently this has the John Mayer signature neck carve. But have you seen the size of John Mayer's crazy long thumbs? Maybe this is good for him, but maybe not good for everyone. This neck carve actually reminds me of like an old Yamaha Pacifica 112 from like the 90s or noughties. Feels very, very similar. So to sum up, it seems to me like this is trying to be a Strat, but at the same time it's trying to distance itself from being a Strat. And I feel that it falls short in both respects. Disclaimer, I'm a Strat guy, but I'm not a vintage purist. My favourite Strats these days aren't even made by Fender. Fazley, Jet, etc. Check them out. Will I keep it? Well, you've maybe already guessed. No, I'm going to move this one on. So, does that mean I've kept my promise? Does it count as buying a guitar if you immediately sell it? I think that cancels it out. So yay! I'm a good person again. I should also add this guitar has the stock strings on it, which are 10 to 46. I prefer 9 to 42 because I am weak and feeble. I did struggle to play it a bit, and that's the excuse I'm using for the shoddy playing on the demo. I think a more fair review would be to go through this guitar with a set of 9s on it like I'm used to, but as I'm going to move it on, I want to keep it as stock as possible for its new owner, which could be you. Well, if you live in Scotland. I'm not going to ship it, you'll have to come to Scotland. Come to Scotland. You'll like it. It's raining all the time. and it's cold. So cold. It's cold. So anyway, thank you. Until next time. What did you think? You got a Silver Sky? Do you like it? Lots of people like them. For me, nah, it's okay. Does it live up to the hype? Maybe. Kinda.